On this now, Peter Brooks is with us now. Peter's a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense with us now, also a Senior Fellow for National Security Affairs at the Heritage Foundation. Peter, good morning to you. A lot of information to absorb at the moment. This is what we're learning now. Fox News now confirming that this man in detention now, in custody, is telling police that he acted alone, that he had no ties with any other group, including groups back in Pakistan. On the surface, you make of that what?
Well, we got to run that to ground, don't we? I'm not surprised you might say that. He has just traveled overseas. We need to know what the threat is and what we're up against. We need to know if there's other plots out there. We need to pull the threads on this. But we need to know if he did act alone as a lone wolf, or he's involved with others already here in the United States or overseas. And that'll give us a better picture, but we don't know that at this moment.
Homegrown terror. This is what Al-Qaeda wants. It's what the Taliban wants. We've seen it time and time again. Now, this is a theory. This is not based on fact. But if he became a naturalized citizen a year ago, he has a U.S. passport. He knows that's like the gold ticket, right? Then he takes off to Pakistan. He's over there for 5 months, comes back, and he plots whatever he plots. Perhaps, and it is possible, and we don't know the answers to this yet. And I say this with trepidation and caution, but he could have had this in the works for years, knowing that once I get that passport, I got a green light.
Absolutely. I mean, we've known this for a long time, Bill. I mean, you know, you're absolutely right. I mean, the fact is that sleepers and moles are very good. If you can get somebody inside the wire, as they would say in the military, that can act here without suspicion. You know, this is a guy who lives in the neighborhood moving around propane tanks. Maybe he's getting ready for a big 4th of July celebration, M80 firecrackers. You know, if you can keep somebody below the radar screen, allow them to operate without suspicion, they can get into Times Square with a van filled with explosives. So this is exactly what Al-Qaeda wants. They don't want us to be looking for people that look like the hijackers on 9/11. And if this is related to Al-Qaeda, they may have succeeded here.
Let's get back to fact. On Sunday, the Taliban claimed responsibility. A couple times, in fact. All authorities in New York were kicking that to the curb. Now, why would they do that, or do they have something that clearly we do not know?
It's not clear at this point, unfortunately. I don't know, Bill, but we should not dismiss that at all. The Taliban has said that they would take their war to the United States. We thought we had rubbed out the leader of the Taliban, but unfortunately he has resurfaced. And he has said that he will do as such. We cannot take these threats in a complacent sort of manner. I mean, this is a major problem. Once again, we need to run this to ground to see if there are international ties. If the Taliban has decided that it's going to spread its jihad beyond Afghanistan and Pakistan to the United States, that's something we really need to be conscious of and aware of.
Well, here's what you want to figure out. How was he radicalized? When did it happen? Where did it happen? Was it face-to-face? Was it on the Internet? Does he have a tie to this al-Laki cleric in Yemen? I mean, all this stuff right now, to borrow your phrase, has to be run to ground.
That's right, absolutely. Was he radicalized here by the Internet? Was he radicalized overseas? Where did he get his training? Did he learn how to make this bomb on the Internet? Did somebody send him instructions? Did he learn in a training camp? Is it Al-Qaeda on the Arabian Peninsula? Is it the Taliban? Is it Al-Qaeda? Is it another radical group in Pakistan, which is the epicenter of radicalism? So there's a lot we need to learn. We cannot become complacent about it. Another problem, Bill, is here we've seen as many as, by my quick calculation, as many as more than 10 attempted terrorist attacks or plots in the United States in the last year. And they say that we've foiled as many as 30 since 9/11. So if you've had 10 in the last year and 30 in the last 9 years, this is a bad trend line.
Yeah. We're waiting to hear from the police. Ray Kelly at some point, we believe, will come out and talk with reporters. At some point, we'll likely hear from the mayor, Michael Bloomberg, too. And all these questions will be asked. You can guarantee that. Peter Brooks, thank you for expertise. Okay.
Thank you, Bill.
Peter Brooks is out of Washington.